Well, good morning. Oh, I must admit I slept very well. It's 8:30, so I've not had tea, but I think given time and that we kind of don't want to be too late to get going, I think I'm going to have porridge first and then clean the pot as it were with 1 or 2 teas and then slowly start to pack up. And I probably ought to try and get going by 10 realistically. Pop down and see Dave in the gorge outdoors, so if ever you're passing this way, go into the gorge outdoors. It's a good little independent shop on outdoory stuff. Actually, let's take that off there. As I say, the only problem with one cat is now I can't heat up any water for anything else, so we'll get going with that. We're doing okay for water. It really was a bit of a pain losing that water yesterday, but that's life, I guess. So I've still got that full and that full. It'd be nice to have a little bit left for the walk, so we'll kind of see how it goes. But this is really an absolute minimum amount of water that I can, you know, get away with. I really wouldn't want to have less than this, especially with with a dog or dogs, when there's no water around, because then obviously I'm having to put water in the water bowl, and I've limited that, you know, a little bit. I just put small drops in just so we've got, you know, enough. But I must admit I slept pretty well. It's not the best of pictures here, it's pretty decent, but it's a little bit on the slopey side, but it's not too bad. Okay, so let's get Let's get stuff packed away. I put my down jacket in here, ready for safety as much as anything else. I can hear the first warblings of people. It's 9 o'clock. We'll get most everything packed away and collapsed soon, I think. Probably once they go, there probably won't be many more people around for a while, but so what I've got here, this is the MLD Hell Pack. It's just a small pack, and basically I'm going to use a bag liner as the waterproof thing to go in it. So in other words, I'm just stuffing everything into the pack itself. Basically my mat that I sleep on just forms the back system for this. I brought a t-shirt just in case. It was much warmer than I was expecting, to be honest. Leggings. I always bring my sleeping bag liner, crop sleeping bag liner, just in case. I've eaten all my food. I think it's going to be a warm day, so I don't think I'm going to be needing my insulated jacket, so that can go in there. I bought loads of towels, really, just in case Lizzie got wet and I needed to dry her off. Normally I'd not bring so many towels. I bought my beanie hat, the wind shirt, repair kit, first aid stuff. I brought the weather station, but I didn't bother checking the temperature. I always like to bring it, but I must admit, unless it's, you know, like extreme weather, then I tend not to bother with it. I think my wind shirt can go in. I don't think I'm going to be needing that somehow. And I've got extra jackets and bedding things in there for Lizzie, but it wasn't needed. Well, this is obviously the inside of the Sil nylon Trailstar, and as you can see, the innernet fits under it very well. You could almost do with making the Trailstar just a tad higher, or just, you know, raising the innernet ever so slightly, which you can do with a bit of bungee cord and a bit of jiggery pokery. It's really not that difficult. Just wrap bungee cord around the top around here tight, and then just tie it up just to lift it up at that extra centimetre or 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. But generally it's a good fit under here, to be fair. One thing I brought this trip, which I maybe put it on and show you later, but it's an old Go Light poncho. I bought it years and years ago, probably 12 years ago, something like that. And I've still got the pot to go in, haven't I? And then, yeah, so I bought that Go Light poncho around about the same time that I was discovering MLD back in the day. Oh, I didn't put, oh damn. I'll put my sweetener in. And of course, MLD pretty much took over. I did get the Shangri-La shelter, and bizarrely I didn't really like it, although I've seen many use it, including Chris on our last trip, and use it, you know, very successfully. I was thinking another way I might be able to save a tiny bit of weight is maybe use like a clear plastic bag for rubbish rather than my heavier bag. And I was also thinking that maybe I bring earbuds with me, you know, the powered ones, the wireless, and they're like in their own little charging thing. But again, I'm kind of thinking maybe for longer walks to go back to wires, because they're lighter. I mean, again, I know it's not a huge saving, but between this and that, I can probably shave another few grams off. Because I still find my packs are quite heavy. A lot of that is is food though. This is why I like that more so much, or anywhere that's quiet. You can just sort of move around at your own pace. I guess if I do this again, which I probably will do in the, you know, once you get into September and October, then it will probably get more and more quiet, I think. To be honest, the people that walk past, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even see us. I mean, they might do. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, because we're quite... This is why I'm not a huge fan of the innernet, because I must admit you do have to kind of crawl out. When you don't have an inner, just a ground sheet, which I use 3/4 of the year, you can just kind of just get straight out. It's much easier. It's a nice, not a bad morning actually. Some more people. It's starting to get more and more popular now, but they're all over there, and they're all just following the path down, like I used to, and still do. will just following the path down. They put it, I bet 90% of them don't even know I'm here. It definitely blends in quite well. Let's see. Okay, we'll just show you around the outside of the silpoly Trailstar. So you can see we've got it pretty tight, and given that we've got the inner in, you can get it pitched quite low to the ground as well, so that actually is quite useful. I found with the, mind you, I never I've been pitching them a long time, but I'm sure others pitch these things better than I ever will. But I'm sure with the nylon one, you had to pitch it a little bit higher off the ground to get, you know, a good pitch inside. I must actually measure this. It will be interesting to know, you know, how big the sides are. But it's pitched quite tightly. Maybe this is a little bit looser there. And I notice it's, you know, it may be a little bit looser there. It's not so easy to get, you know, that absolute tight parameter that you can get with the sil nylon. So, you know, that might flap a little bit more in the rain, but I don't think, you know, very much. I've given a longer line here just to give some separation between this and that. And I think I noticed that Ron, I think he's reinforced this around here after I wrecked the last one. And I often hear people sort of, you know, I don't mean complaining, I'm not saying people are complaining about getting wet knees and what have you. Well, I think my attitude is with the Trailstar is you've probably got, I think if you're a very tall person, I think you will struggle more. And I do prefer it without the inner, to be fair, because it's just generally easier to get in and out when you haven't got, you know, when you haven't got the inner it's easier, you know, for absolute sure. And maybe putting the inner at the back might be easier, because then you can kind of go, yeah, you can kind of go, you know, straight all the way through it, whereas this you kind of got to go in that way and then in to the left. Although there were no bugs around, so I didn't even need the inner, but I kind of used it for Lizzie because it gave a bit more protection for her than anything else. And then we'll just roll this up. And that goes in there. So if we're measuring the height, then it was on the number 6. If anyone is if anyone else comes camping up here and you find any holes, or you disappear down any holes, I accept no liability. The outside pocket on this Hell Pack, I just won't come up with these names. It's tight, but you can. It's tight, but you can squeeze things in it. So I don't know what material Ron found for that, but it's surprising what you can squeeze, you know, in the front of that. Well, as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this little bonus edition, and obviously we will see you on the next trip. Thanks very much for watching. As always, if you're so inclined, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button to all, and like I said, we will see you in the next video.